Hi, everyone. Hey, so this is the weekly scope of January 19th to the 26th, actually 25th, but um, typos there, sorry. So take a screenshot because I'm going to be changing the screen. I'm not going to be having a generic intro. I'm going to just jump in straight into the signs and taking a screenshot for you to follow along with me or um, or you can compare it to your natal chart after, whichever works for you. So we are going to get into, we're going to start with. Hi, Libra. Hope you guys are doing really well. So this is my first attempt at a weekly scope, and I'm going to forewarn you right now. And as you can see from the time of the video, I do not do 5 minute 10-minute scopes. Like, I never have, and I don't think that's just not my style. Um, and that's one of the reasons actually I started doing horoscopes online is because I always, when I listen to scopes, and I'm not saying I'm this wonderful person, far from it, but there's really good astrologers. But I always like most of them are just they give you the aspects and they give you this vague thing meaning of it. In relation to what you're experiencing, and then they go into the psychology and counseling, and I'm just like, oh, dude. So what I'm trying to say is I do take more time because I try to personalize it to each sign, giving you real life scenarios, um, looking at, like, examples, because I want you to understand them, especially for the novices and the newbies. They don't know what's going on. They're just here to, like, listen, like, well, what's going on, what's happening. And I want you guys to relate. So that's why I'm taking a little longer with even a weekly scope. Plus, this week is a doozy, Libra. To do, not only put on your seatbelt, I don't know, put like a neck brace on, even if your neck doesn't hurt. It's a lot of tense dynamic energy that's going on, a huge shift of focus. So with that, I'm just taking my time and explaining it to you because I want you guys to have something to bite on. All right, you're probably going like, yeah, yeah, let's go already. So the theme for this week, Libra, is a turning point, a turnaround. There's a shift. And it's in regards to uh, some surprising or revelatory information that we received last week through maybe an argument or an outburst that made us realize something. Well, for one, um, it was Mars retrograde in Cancer. Sorry. And when planets retrograde, they actually go back and forth and they dig up something that we either missed, ignored, or was hidden from us. And last week it was Uranus that triggered this Mars information through this outburst that was revealed. And yeah, we had a realization like, oh, oh, did I miss that? Or, oh, I didn't know that. And it led to some kind of healing because uh, some kind of a compassionate understanding. And there was a breakthrough. Now, this is in regards to all the hullabaloo that happened in October and November. Um, and I'll just tell you where those. So I changed my screen. Sorry, where it falls. So Mars in Cancer, and Cancer, excuse me, for you is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. So there was some kind of heat urgency here back in October, and then we had the super crazy full moon in Aries, um, and something ended there. Something, and Aries is your 7th house of partners, personal, business, or platonic. Even anyone who knows you really well is a partner. So something ended, something was severed, something was separated. And with all that action and heat that happened with Cancer, and Cancer also rules home and family. There was also um, Mars also went into Leo, and Leo is your 11th house of friends and groups and associations. So something about friends was also maybe on fire. Um, in any case, uh, there were endings here. And there could have been, new beginnings here. There's many different Librans, but for the most part, there was some kind of an ending, a firestorm, dust kicked up, and some hurt feelings. So that's why we're still thinking about it as of last week or this month, because it affected other areas of our lives. So with last week, Uranus ignited that information and that breakthrough. And we're moving into this week with really tense aspects again and dynamic shifts. And what'll happen is then, because of that breakthrough and these tense aspects happening again here, we will then say, well, that's enough. It has to stop. There has to be a shift. And we can already feel um, the energy of something coming to a close or ending, because we do have a last quarter moon this Tuesday. So, yeah, that's what's going on. And before I go into the daily aspects and tell you how it might play out, I do want to tell you about um, Scorpio. So, sorry, Scorpio is your second house of job, income, and your value system. And Scorpio natally rules the eighth house of joint finances and intimacy or inheritance. Um, we have the asteroid Juno in Scorpio, and Juno is all about commitment. It's serious about commitment. So there's some kind of serious commitment in regards to your job or your income. Um, but it opposes, well, on the 17th, it opposed Uranus in Taurus at 23 degrees. And that is a significant degree because that was the degree of what Mars did in October and the super full moon in Aries. Um, Juno also rules, well, she was Jupiter's wife, and he was a womanizer. And Juno was running around after him. She was very, very jealous and very, very possessive. But Juno took it to another level. She would get revenge. uh, yeah, she wouldn't let things die down. So with Juno being like that, and in the very intense sign of Scorpio, Scorpio knows revenge really well. So this is the next level revenge, the next level possessiveness and jealousy. Why I'm mentioning this to you, Libra, is many of you are looking for a career change or a job change. And that's because you're concerned about income or money, or it could be about your values. Um, or you may have started a new job, or something like that. If it plays out in your work, you might be eyeing a promotion, and maybe somebody else is getting it, and you're getting, like, maybe some insecure feelings about it because you're feeling that way. Or it can be the other person that is feeling um, that towards you. If it's about your job or your income, if it's about your values. Because let me just see one thing. I'm so sorry. Uh, oh, there it is. Taurus. So it's. Oh, where are you? There you are. Taurus is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, secrets, the taboo, inheritance. Let me make sure. Yeah, and Taurus is a fixed sign, and Taurus can be very possessive and jealous. So if it's not about your job or your income, it could be about your value system and some kind of possessiveness. Maybe that's what you're feeling from a partner, or you might be feeling towards a partner. Because the eighth house is also how other people value you. So maybe you're thinking a partner is not valuing you in some way, and that's why you're, and maybe an insecurity is triggered. It can be also about an inheritance, and maybe it's because partners can also be like siblings or friends, anyone who knows you really well. In any case, uh, that opposition happened on the 17th. Um, and Juno will retrograde in Scorpio, and it will make the same opposition to Uranus in Taurus. And it's coinciding with the end of Uranus's tour in Taurus. And Uranus is the planet of shock, surprise, and electricity. And it comes in with a bang, and it leaves with a bang. And you've already experienced the abrupt, maybe shocking surprises that you've had with joint finances, with intimacy, uh, government benefits, and taxes or inheritance issues, all that falls in there. You've had the feast or famine, the roller coaster ride with that. And Uranus is set to make a couple more surprise. I'm laughing with you. I'm laughing with you because I've dealt with Uranus too. We're all dealing with it in different areas of our life. So what I'm saying is, with this opposition on May 4th, and with it coinciding with Uranus leaving Taurus, and maybe a last hurrah surprise, if there are still any insecurities or jealousy or possessiveness here on that day that was not resolved, um, this aspect will break commitments. It's just way too powerful. Um, uh, it will liberate something here. Again, nobody worry. If you guys are solid as a rock, it's fine. If you didn't feel anything on the 17th, you're fine. And again, if there's ongoing situations like that, because planets don't hate us, what they're doing is they're liberating us, severing what we think is a great thing, because in the future it will not be good for us. It's like the scenario of two people who end a relationship or a marriage. Um, but think it's devastating, and then in the future they look back and say, oh, thank God, that I didn't have kids, or that this, whatever. With Uranus, you appreciate it in the future because it rules Aquarius, the genius of the zodiac. It's very futuristic. So that's all I wanted to say about that aspect. I know I took too long. Maybe that's my problem of making these things way too long. All right, and we are on Monday, inauguration day. Yay! You have a new president. So the moon in your sign will square Mercury in Capricorn. The moon in your sign will square Mars in Cancer. The moon in your sign will oppose Chiron in Aries. Thanks, Libra. No. Actually, I do like Libra because you keep the peace. Um, then we have the sun in Aquarius, semi-squaring Saturn in Pisces. I told Taurus, and I don't know who else, I'm hiding under the bed on Monday. Not coming out. I suggest you do the same since you're personally involved in here. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, so, um, the moon is it's your feeling, and it is in your sign. So it is about your image, the way you appear, your profile online. Um, and there's something that the way you appear or are seen is not sitting well with a home and family situation. So that starts that out. And you've already had, oh my God, the horrible things with home and family, things that you had to go through, the up and down battles. In any case, you can listen to my year ahead 2025 video. I go in full detail, and I won't take up your time here. Uh, uh, and then the aspect where it squares Mars and Cancer. Um, Again, the way you appear, but this is your feeling. It's the moon, so it's your emotion. This is mostly internal. Um, this is not sitting well regarding your career, your status, authority figures. That's how you're feeling. And then with the aspect to the Chiron, opposing Chiron in Aries, um, I'm thinking Aries is your sixth house, or I'm sorry, your seventh house of partnerships. So it's triggering a hurt, a wound from the past. All these feelings, it's something about your home and family situation, um, something about your career and your image, the way you are. But this is really how you feel, and it's triggering this old wound. There might be a regret here about, like, oh, I should have partnered with this person instead of this person. Then I wouldn't have gone through all this. It might be that, or something in your home and family has happened, has shifted, that causes this wound, this hurt. And remember, these aspects are tense because they're going to force us to shift, to make a turnaround. Okay. Um, yeah. Then we have the Sun in Aquarius, semi-square Saturn in Pisces. So that is your sixth house of health, habits, routine, and scheduling. Um, and you've had um, something about your health, your habits, your routine. Maybe you've seen health issues, God forbid, for the past 2 years, or maybe your schedule kept changing, or or being restricted in some fashion or some way. Um, but this shift with Aquarius, with this new focus that you're starting this journey on, you are going to be empowered through a lover, romance, or maybe several lovers. He said in your 2025 year horoscope, I'm like, Libras are going to be naughty. Or it could be your children. You'll be empowered by your children. But that's where the power is and the control. So uh, it's clear because Aquarius is also an air sign. So it's going to be really uplifting for you. And it's fast. Mm. So, what this square is about, Libra, is that you are getting busy about a love, a romance, or a child, or maybe children, pets, maybe. And Saturn is saying, all right, in order to do that, you need to get your schedule, your routine, um, your health in shape. Otherwise, you're going to, God forbid, suffer consequences. You don't want to, like I said, if I haven't said, you don't want to burn the candle at both ends because that's going to hurt you. And the fifth house of love, romance, and children is a very fun house. And you have to be in tip top shape to enjoy that because it's like a vibrant house and it's going to make you super busy. Alrighty, so that's that. And then Tuesday we have Mercury in Capricorn square Chiron in Aries. So first it was the moon, it was how you were feeling. And remember, partners reflect back to us how we feel inside. So how we feel inside, we project onto others. So if you see someone being really nice and caring about you, it's because you care about yourself. If you see someone being agitated or disrespecting you, it's because you disrespect yourself. You're agitated in some way. Anyway, that's one clue of figuring out the universe's gift for us to figure out how and what we attract. It's because of our own inner self. Um, so here now, you might have projected this feeling onto maybe someone in your family. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to. Never mind. um, because you're getting some kind. There's a conversation, a serious conversation, a practical conversation. It's coming from your home and family, maybe a parent, and that is triggering a hurt again, an old wound regarding a partner, or maybe a past, or maybe a potential partner, maybe a present partner. The Sun in Aquarius will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Libra, pay attention to Tuesday because, like I said, the fifth house is a very fun, creative house. It's not the house of partnerships, but it's true love, it's romance, and it is children. And what you see on Tuesday is raw power, raw control. It's the Sun, it's the most powerful. And it is Pluto. Pluto is the god of the underworld, destruction and transformation. And Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac. It's air sign. So you are being shown what true power is and where your true power lies in regards to love, romance, or children, or creativity. So take notice if you are having problems with a lover or a child. Um, yeah, if you are having problems here, uh, if they feel overwhelming or um, controlling, how you fix that, Libra, is I gave the scenario of being locked in a dark room and you can't see anything and you're scared because you're reaching out so that you don't touch anything, bump into anything. But if you stand still and focus, the light at the back of your eyes will start making things out. And boof, your fear is gone. Um, so that's what Pluto does. It takes us deep down to where we hide our fears and brings it back up so that we can face it, deconstruct it, and come out powerful. Because then nobody can hold you hostage with that fear, not even yourself. So if you are having a problem with a lover, a romance situation, or a child, and creativity, what you do is you, you use self discipline, self control, and you can do that really well. You're the iron fist in the velvet glove is what they say about Libras. You are very powerful. You're a cardinal sign. The only trip up for you guys is You're indecisive and sometimes unsure, but just stand still. Whenever you, with anybody, if you have arguments with anybody, you don't shout back. You stand still and you look at them, and you take your control back, your power back, if you have problems. Otherwise, this conjunct can be just beautiful. It can be um, someone really ingenious that is going to be empowering for you, and it might be a child or a romance. All right, then the moon enters Scorpio, dum da da dum, and Scorpio is your second house of job, income, and your value system. Um, Later on, Moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius, and then it'll square the Sun in Aquarius. Ugh, this is turning out to be a worse day than Monday. And then Saturn in Pisces will semi-square Pluto in Aquarius. Jesus, they're all ganging up in Aquarius here. Um, so Scorpio is your second house, like I said, and we remember Juno's still there, and you are wanting to change something about your job, or you have. Um, but Pluto, Aquarius is your new focus. Like I said, it's going to be overwhelming because it'll be such an exciting ride. Like I said, it's air sign. You're an air sign. You're just gonna be uplifted, and you can be. And it might be a romance that's beautiful, or a child, um, and it might take you away from your job, and you might take a hit in your income, or it might be something about your value system. Remember, if I said when I said there, if the conjunct is negative, in air quotes, that might be your value system that might take a hit. It's not sitting well with this, whatever's happening with a child or a romance. um, so yeah, I'm curious. You guys should tell me how that works out. And with Saturn in Pisces, semi-squaring Pluto in Aquarius again, Saturn has been restricting you here regarding your scheduling, your routine. Um, and again, if you're starting to get busy with this romance with this child, your schedule, yeah, it will naturally mess up your routine and your schedule, and God forbid, your health. So just be careful with getting carried away. And anyway, it's in the early degrees of Aquarius right now. So in any case, what I was saying is with the intensity of Monday and Tuesday and all these different areas of your life getting hit, and what have you. And we have a grand square in cardinal signs here. You can't see it. I'm looking at the chart, but you can't see it. But it's forming a square, and it's the cardinal signs, which you are one of, is Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. And so all these areas of your life that I've mentioned are being affected with your image and the way you appear front and center. So you will be one of the four cardinal signs that will feel this intensely, as well as these other areas of your life. So do look at your natal chart also to see where these signs fall and in what houses they fall in. And I think that will be, yeah. So on Wednesday, I'm going to say what it is, but I need to tell you the aspect. On Wednesday, we have Venus, your ruler, in Pisces, semi-sextile Chiron and Aries. This is beautiful, absolutely lovely. So Venus brings in money, fortune, fame. It romanticizes. It attracts things like that. And Pisces, again, is your house of health, habits, and routine, and caring for someone. Uh, and it also rules compassion. So it is actually whatever's happening with your health habit and routine that Venus has been beautifying since early January, that helps to heal that wound that was triggered, that hurt that was triggered early in the week. And, and usually on days that are uneventful is when we actually shift. We make a shift, we make a turning point. So I believe this will be the day for you that you make that turning point about what happened back in October, November, and with that revelation that you had earlier last week. You make a shift here. You put it behind you. You shed that old skin. Like I said, it's not the end of the story. It's Mars is in Cancer until April, or until May, June, um, and it's going to go direct. But that hurt, that thing, you put it to bed, you put it to rest, and because now you're getting busy with this new focus in your life, Aquarius. Um, so on Thursday, Mars in Cancer will sextile Uranus and Taurus. This is a very lovely aspect again. Um, uh, and you may not feel it because sextiles and trines are nice, mild energies, but I believe you will. Um, then on sorry, then we have Mercury in Capricorn that'll oppose Mars in Cancer. So earlier, I think it was the Moon, early in the week that opposed. Well, in any case, um, it opposes Cancer. Then Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus in Taurus. I'll make up your mind. Mercury, Capricorn, what's going on? So you're going to have a discussion, uh, phone call, text, news in regards to family or from family. That again is not sitting well regarding your status, your career, your reputation. Many of you are separating, divorcing. So this would be a natural aspect um, to have these oppositions, these 10 squares. Um, and if you are not separating, if you're solid as a rock and very happy, these oppositions can actually be really nice as well. Um, so yeah, because if it opposes Mars in Cancer, and then and well, actually, maybe the shift comes here, the turning point, because these are all at 23 degrees. So it is triggering those degrees back in October and November. So yeah, well, I mean, people are not a light switch. It doesn't happen in a day. I mean, maybe, the day earlier you decide to make that shift, that turning point, and on this day you make that turning point. Because then the moon enters Sagittarius. Yay! And we get hope and optimism coming through with our feelings. And Sagittarius is your third house of communication, community, neighbors, neighborhood, short distance travel, siblings, and cousins. So you might be getting uplifted through a Sagittarian friend, even, but our hopes are lifted up then. On Friday, Mercury. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, sorry. Let me take it back to this page. I apologize. So I did that. Okay, so then the moon in Sagittarius will sextile Pluto in Aquarius, and that's very nice. So you this is what I've been saying about projecting what we feel inside, because the moon is our feelings, okay, and Sagittarius is hopeful. So there's this hopeful, this optimism, this spring in your step, let's say, um, and that's being projected onto a lover, a romance, or a child, or a creative project. You get inspiration. Uh, and then we do have the moon in Sagittarius opposed Jupiter and Gemini. This could be a good opposition. Now, Jupiter and Gemini, sorry. Oh, let me go back up. Sorry, the screen just turned off. Oh, that's what it was. No, that's where it is. You don't know what I'm. This is my power went out because it's really cold in Chicago and my internet died and I had to re. Anyway, I won't complain. Um, so your Gemini is your ninth house. Yeah, it is your ninth house of travel, long distance travel, higher education, foreign people, or people at a distance. And you have been uh, since last year. You've had opportunities in one or a combination of these areas, and you have been maybe looking to relocate. Um, but there might have been a really great opportunity, but it stalled, it delayed, and that was because Jupiter turned retrograde. So we put that on the back burner, and for you, it was something about the ninth house. Um, and with this opposition, it might be third house of communication and short distance. So you might be planning uh, a long distance travel, and this opposition may be just regarding maybe getting a passport updated or those real IDs. It can be just a mundane example like that. It can be something else. But if it's negative, um, then something regarding siblings, cousins, social media, the neighborhood, is not it's not allowing you to complete this long distance travel, this higher education, publishing. It might be just like an obstacle because it's the moon. It's just a feeling. It's internal, and that and the moon just does only 2.5 days in each sign, so it's fleeting. And then finally on the 25th, yay, beautiful. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. So I'm relieved by seeing this. Venus, your ruler in Pisces, will trine Mars in Cancer. And hallelujah. um, so your again, your health habits, your routine, taking care of someone, maybe pet, is sitting really well with your Cancer related house. Maybe you have a pet and it's really therapeutic. And you pet it or something. No, seriously, but um, you might be, because it's been beautifying this house and it sits well with your Cancer house. So yeah, maybe you get some more money here, or you meet someone here that sends a nice signal to your Cancer related house. All right, Libra, I know ridiculously long for a weekly scope. I apologize. I will try to keep them shorter if I do continue with them, but it was just it's a really important week, and that's why I wanted to cover it in detail and give you solid examples. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Hi, Scorpio. Hope you're doing well. This is your weekly scope. This is my first attempt at a weekly scope for the week of January 19th through the 25th. And um, I'm doing this weekly scope, and I'm forewarning you right now. It's not a 5 minute condensed version of giving you the aspect and giving you a vague idea and then going into like a psychology counseling thing. I don't do that. I like to um, really dig in and give you real life scenarios so that you can bite on something. So it makes sense to you, especially for newbies or novices to astrology. Um, so it's going to, and because this week has some really really tense aspects, some dynamic energy, and a shift to a new shift, uh, focus to of the future. But we have some tense stuff thing going on. So that's another reason it's gonna take a little long. So the theme for this week is a turning point, a turnaround, a shift. And this turning point was triggered last week. We had a surprising revelation, um, surprising information that may have been blurted out through a heated argument or discussion, or maybe a downright fight. But it made us realize something about ourselves and about others that we may have missed or ignored, and it created a breakthrough. And that breakthrough um, gave us an ability to understand and heal, compassionate understanding where it healed something. And what I'm talking about is about the events that happened in October, November last year. There were some heavy duty aspects that happened, some heavy duty arguments, um, fights, um, heated discussions, relationships ended, um, partnerships were severed, um, there were separations, uh, and a lot of really, really big stuff that happened. And it affected all other areas of our life, but specifically, it happened through Mars in Cancer. And then the super full moon in Aries, which was an explosive super full moon. And Mars also went into Leo. So, excuse me, I gotta chill. I'm in Chicago. It is freezing. The temperatures just dropped to crazy levels. But yeah, let me get a warmer sweater. I'll be back. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so Mars and Cancer. Cancer is your ninth house of long distance travel, foreigners, people at a distance. It also rules higher education, publishing, and the World Wide Web. Cancer also rules home, family, and especially the mother. So there was urgency here. Um, you were just you had this energy and urgency that you were going about doing something here, and it it had but Pluto in Capricorn, and that's your third house of your local community and your communication, social media, something like that. And then the super full moon in Aries is your sixth house of health, habits, routine, scheduling, and taking care of someone. And then Leo is your 10th house of career and status. And, and it affected some other areas of your life. Your third house of, I did mention that, I think if I didn't, siblings and cousins and extended families are also here. Um, so there was a dust storm that was kicked up back in October, November. And if I didn't mention it, there were endings and things like that here. But these relationships are very important to us. Um, and and that's why Mars is not letting go of this. It's going back and forth over these degrees, and when planets do that, oh, for one reason, it's to have resolution or um, yeah, some kind of a resolve here because these are important relationships, and as well, uh, when planets retrograde, they give us back information that maybe we did not recognize, or maybe we ignored, or it may have been hidden from us. So last week, the trigger, the culprit, was Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus, so Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. And last week, we had a surprising revelation. For you, it came maybe through a partnership, through a partner. They gave you some kind of a news, or it might have come out through an outburst, through a heated argument, but it gave you some information that you did not have back in October, November, and you realized that maybe that's why they were acting that way, or that's why events led to that, or that's why you reacted that way. Um, and it created a breakthrough in that firestorm. And this breakthrough, because it was a realization, Uranus was nice here. He acted like a good planet. That led to a compassionate understanding, and it led to some kind of a healing. Okay, so with that breakthrough happening, um, and these intense aspects happening this week, we're going to go about it a different way. But with these tense aspects and all, we're here, we're putting effort this week. But then it's like, all right, I've done all I can here. And it's time to just um, turn around. A turning point. We need to shift because we're getting this new focus on a new area of our life. And this is far from over. This story from October, November. If you listen to my October scope, I did tell you there would be some kind of a resurrection in spring because Mars will start going direct, and we will get the final piece of the puzzle then, with other planets making shifts, and then we can that story is then completed. Um, but this shift here, this turnaround here, is not an ending per se. It's just like, all right, we need to drop that attitude. It's just not helping anyone, something like that. um, I will tell you about one aspect that I guess nobody's talking about. Maybe, I don't know. We have the asteroid Juno in your sign. Juno is about commitment, and when it's in your sign, you're a very intense sign, so it is a serious commitment here. um, And for you, since it is in your sign, it is about the way you appear, um, the way you are seen, your profile, maybe your profile online, your image. Um, so there's some serious commitment, probably internally, with you set for yourself. It might be about a health issue that you're serious about tackling, or it might be just because your communication style um, previous was kind of intense, but now you have a really different kind of communication style. You're very mellow and understanding, and communication is not only about talking; it's about listening, taking in. So you've made a commitment to change the way you appear, to change your to coincide with the change of your communication style. Um, but on the 17th, what happened was Juno in your sign opposed Uranus in Taurus. And Taurus is your fifth house, or I'm sorry, your seventh house of partnerships. And it's all kinds of partnerships. It's personal, business, platonic, uh, a friend, excuse me, a friend or a sibling can be a partner. Anyone who knows you really well. But yes, it can be like a marriage partner or something like that. So this commitment that you're making to change your persona is not sitting well with a partner. Maybe you've decided to grow a beard and they really hate it, or maybe if you're a girl, maybe you're getting some kind of augmentation or plastic surgery or hair or something, and yeah, your partners are not happy with this. um, Juno also rules like possessiveness or jealousy, so insecurity. So it might be um, you're feeling that, or your partner is feeling that. Um, and it's at 23 degrees, so it is triggering that super full moon and the Mars, that fallout um, back in October, November. And Aries is your sixth house of health, habits, and routines, and Cancer your ninth house of foreigners and travel. Also your family, parents. Mm, so this can jealousy, possessiveness, and commitments. It can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But a partnership opposing this commitment to how you appear, maybe you are going to be behind a camera, maybe it's social media, and they just don't want a maybe you've signed a contract and they just don't want you to change because that's not what they signed up for. Something like that. I mean, it might be a really stupid example, but like I told you, I like to give like real life examples so you can substitute your own life story in it. But at least you'll understand the energy. So Juno will retrograde in your sign, and it will come up to the same opposition on May 4th. And it's coinciding with the end of Uranus tour in Taurus. And you have your partners have been freaky, not freaky, but like unpredictable. Like they're up and down, up. It's like it's been a roller coaster with your partners. And usually Uranus comes in with a bang and it leaves with a bang. So if there are ongoing, because when Juno in your sign retrogrades, it'll make that opposition, like I mentioned. If there are still issues about insecurity, about jealousy or possessiveness, and with Uranus, God knows how it'll exit Taurus. It's an explosive aspect, and commitments will break apart here with this aspect. It's just too powerful. Um, Again, only if there is this ongoing issue about possessiveness or jealousy. Um, and you may break that commitment. Looks like it's coming from you. But yeah, so look for 23 degrees in your natal chart and 26 degrees in your natal chart. And again, it can be all kinds of partners. It's not necessarily your personal, your wife, husband, or a lover, or what have you. All right. So on the 19th, the sun enters Aquarius, and that is where our focus will shift to our Aquarius related house. And where am I? Here I am. Yeah, and Aquarius is your fourth house of home and family. That will, well, it's already sparked this thing about home and family. If you're single, you will you will really be inspired to have this perfect home and family. Um, and and Aquarius is uplifting. It's not like Capricorn. And Pluto is your ruler, so you're used to his energy. So I don't think you'll have a really rough, tough time with Aquarius here. But yeah, this is where your focus shifts. Then Venus in Pisces will semi square Pluto in Aquarius. Pisces is your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. Um, so in the beginning of this month, something about your love, romance, or something about children has been very dreamy. Has been You've been romanticizing about it. Maybe someone close to you um, announced a pregnancy, because I see that in some of your charts with some demographics. Um, or Venus also attracts love and money and fame. And Pisces, oddly enough, does have something to do with money. So you might have been Excuse me. You might have come into some money through a lover or romance, or maybe a creative project. But it's semi squaring Pluto and Aquarius. Because what Pluto and Aquarius want your focus on is this home and family, journey. And with you envisioning or being romanticized by this house of love and children, it might be taking away your focus about home and family, because it's going to clear out this house for you. Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Saturn in Pisces, and also about 2 years ago, you started to have restrictions regarding romance, lover, or a child, maybe. um, and there's some discussion, maybe with a sibling. Like I said, a demographic of you shows maybe a sibling regarding a child. Um, Getting some news or information that's pleasing, maybe from a sibling or a close circle of community uh, regarding children or creative projects, or it could be about a lover or a romance. Now, here's where, drum roll please, where the intensity starts. Inauguration Day, Monday. The moon in Libra will square Mercury in Capricorn. The moon in Libra will square Mars in Cancer. And then the moon in Libra will oppose Chiron in Aries. Libra is your 12th house of secrets, your psyche, your faith, um, anything you do behind the scenes or taking care of someone, confining spaces, and your alone time. And Capricorn is your third house of communication and siblings. Libra also rules all kinds of relationships. And the moon, it's a feeling. There's feelings involved here. Cancer, like I said, it's your house of foreigners and long distance travel. And then, so with these squares to your third house of close knit community, and then to your house of foreigners, and family is involved. And I know for some of you, something was resurrected from the past regarding a romance, maybe an old relationship. And that is maybe what's stirring the pot here. Or it can be, like I said, whatever happened back in October, November. Um, so that's triggering some kind of a wound, a hurt, because that's Chiron. Uh, yeah, so we start off with those intense aspects here. Then the Sun in Aquarius. Did I mention this? Sun in Aquarius semi square Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, I did mention it, I believe. If not, again, it's regarding home and family, um, and lover, romance, a child. There's a tense aspect. It's the sun. It's not discussions. It's just something that's being revealed here. All right, on Tuesday. Tuesday is a rough, a really tough day. Starts out with Mercury in Capricorn squaring Chiron in Aries. So that feeling that you got of a hurt, there's discussion. There's some stern, reserved, or cold discussion about which triggers that wound, that hurt. Maybe you felt it because you're a water sign. Water signs can be quite psychic. So with the moon, that's our feelings. You might have felt that. And sure enough, the next day, the conversation came up. Again, maybe through a sibling or a cousin or a close knit community. And it is triggering that wound, that hurt. Um, the Sun in Aquarius will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This can be a really empowering um, aspect, or it can be a tense aspect. But for the most part, it's the Sun. The Sun is nurturing. It rules Leo. Leo is a very compassionate father figure type. Aquarius is an air sign. It uplifts, and it's about support through the group. Pluto, well, Pluto. uh, it, I guess for all of us, since we've been traumatized with Pluto in Capricorn, just well, but he is your ruler, and you know his strength. So this can be an illumination of sheer, unadulterated power and control. And it is about your family, your home, your parents, your clan circle. Um, maybe your family, maybe you guys are starting a family business, and they're like teaching you or showing you how to climb up and how to be successful. Because a conjunct can be like an empowering kind of deal. Um, Sorry, I'm just thinking. If it's negative, and I think I went on and on about it in your 2025 scope. If it's a negative, I warned you, Scorpios. Um, if you're far from family, because we have this long distance travel or foreign aspect, um, just don't join any cults, please. Any like weird sects. So if it's negative, you might see something to that effect. I highly doubt it, but the world is huge. There's billions of people, so there's millions of Scorpios and thousands of different situations. But it's early on, it's still at 1 degree of Aquarius, so this might be your Pluto pop quiz, as I'm saying to other signs, if it's something negative. But I see this as really positive. And pay attention to this power as it's coming in because it's setting the theme. Then the moon enters your sign, Scorpio. Um, then the moon in your sign goes on to square Pluto in Aquarius. Then the moon in your sign will go on to square the sun in Aquarius. These two aspects, again, as far as a positive aspect, is movement. It is like, okay, I get the deal. I see where the power is. I know where the control is. Um, let's go, because squares jumpstart things. Okay. And it is also something about taking initiative. So you're taking initiative here. You're stepping up to the plate and you're like, yeah, I'm done. Let's go. Let's go. If it's in that positive sense. If it's in the negative sense, like I said, it might be part of your Pluto pop quiz. So pay attention to these squares. And then also on Tuesday, Saturn in Pisces then will semi square Pluto in Aquarius. So, again, Pisces is your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity, but it is not sitting well with your plans of empowerment through and for family. And it can go back to what I mentioned. If it is somebody from the past, if there's a reason it was somebody from the past. And I suspect it might have been uh, your parents or home family issues that maybe didn't trust this person or didn't like this person. But, it's a semi square, it's a quick aspect. So pay attention to that. Or if it's the scenario about the other demographics that I said about a sibling or a cousin or somebody with a pregnancy or a child, um, that just changes things regarding a home and family. Maybe you're helping them out with that. Okay? And we can see that it's forming a grand square in cardinal signs. So you're not a cardinal sign, but um, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Aries. So these areas of your life, Scorpio, sorry, it's a square and between cardinal signs, that's huge. So these areas of your life will be affected. And again, it'll be something about long distance travel, higher education, or a foreigner. And your 12th house of secrets, behind the scenes, and maybe taking care of someone. And also your neighborhood, a close knit circle, extended family, siblings, communication. And then your sixth house of scheduling, health, habits, and routines. You will feel it in these areas of your life intensely. And like I said, even without Aquarius, Cancer rules family and the mother especially. So you can throw that in the mix. Um, let's move on to Wednesday. Nice. Wednesday is uneventful, so it's nice. We have a Venus in Pisces will semi-sextile Chiron in Aries. So Pisces again is your love, romance, children. So it is giving you um, some kind of assurance or maybe beautiful words that heals that old wound that was triggered with that debate earlier on Monday or Tuesday. On the 23rd, Mars in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus, um, which is nice. again, something about travel or higher education, and it is sitting well with a partner. It's there. It's encouraging. Then we have Mercury in Capricorn that will oppose Mars in Cancer, and then trine Uranus in Taurus. Well, geez, Capricorn, make up your mind. Well, first, it's conversation, a text, um, and it's a reserved, practical conversation, um, which is opposing something about travel or foreigners. Capricorn is your third house of communication, siblings. So, so maybe it's your siblings or cousins, or maybe even neighbor that's giving you maybe um, a heads up, a warning, or explaining the practicality of this foreign maybe relationship, or maybe this travel, or this person at a distance. Let me make sure that's what. Sorry, want to make sure. Yeah, it is your ninth house. Um, and then, but then Mercury in Capricorn trines Uranus and Taurus. Remember, Taurus partnerships. It can be not, it can be platonic. It rules all kinds of relationships. So with that practical advice opposing something about travel or foreigner, then it's giving you um, encouraging. There's an encouraging advice regarding a partnership. So see how that works out for you, and see all this intensity, these oppositions and old wounds are getting come up again, and these squares. This is where we make a shift because Cancer is all in the mix here. So as it winds down with these sextile, with this opposition and then sextile, I believe it might be that turning point might be here, that shift, because then the moon enters Sagittarius, which is your second house of income, job, and your value system. And Sagittarius is a very hopeful and optimistic sign. Um, and you do get a feeling of optimism and hope regarding job and income. And most of you are going to be changing a job, your career, and like I mentioned in your 2025 scope, if where you are, well, almost all of you will be moving. Um, Maybe not long distance, but almost all will be moving. But if you are landlocked, somewhere where it's landlocked, um, that is one of the reasons that you might feel constricted because you're a water sign and you have to be by the water. And you had something going on regarding water previously, but your career or your job took you somewhere else. You're getting back to this water theme, ocean, sea. Um, you're getting back to that, and it's in regards with this family thing that's new on the agenda for you. Then on Friday, Mercury. Oh, I already said that. Sorry. Let me. Where am I? I'm so sorry. I'm like looking at two different screens because I repeated something. Okay, so here we are. So on January 24th, the moon in Sagittarius then sextiles Pluto in Aquarius, and the moon in Sagittarius will oppose Jupiter in Gemini. So Aquarius is your home and family, and the moon, the moon is internal. It's our feelings, it's our emotions. So this hopeful feeling regarding your job, your income, um, your optimistic feeling about that is getting the approval from Pluto. So, or your value system, like being optimistic about your values. So it's getting a thumbs up. Remember, we project onto others our feelings. So here you might be projecting this optimism, this hopefulness to your family or parents, and they're being happy for you, or they're being also optimistic. And with the moon in Sagittarius opposing Gemini, this could be a good opposition. Not all oppositions are bad, some are beneficial. And Sagittarius, yeah, so Sagittarius is your second house of money and income. And Gemini, you did start or got an opportunity last week in regards, excuse me, to your Gemini related house, which is your eighth house of joint finances, intimacy, um, government benefits, inheritance. You might have seen a boom, and it's the house where you benefit from other people's money, and usually in lump sums. So you saw a boom here last year and maybe an opportunity, a lucrative opportunity here, but it stalled. It sort of got put on the back burner, and that's only because uh, Jupiter went retrograde. It Good news, it's coming out of retrograde on February 4th, and we did have an aspect on Monday, Cupido in Gemini station direct. So um, a passion has been ignited here ahead of Jupiter turning direct regarding that opportunity with joint finances. um, and it will give you a couple more opportunities regarding that. Now, with Jupiter, it's like use it or lose it. So when you see an opportunity uh, being given to you, there, grab it with both hands. It benefits you. And then on the other hand, also if you have problems in this area, Jupiter will expand those problems um, so that you see what you will end up with or deal with. And with this opposition, if it's good, if it's in that way good, if it's bad um, or negative, I don't like saying bad. Um, it could be. I'm trying to think how that could play out for you. Um, so you might be making like with a new job or income sector. Um, you I really don't think it's a bad opposition, and I don't think uh, it's it's hurting your joint finances because I do see you guys succeeding with income, some kind of expansion. But this may be temporary. If it is a negative aspect, you might be between jobs, and that's why your joint finances is opposing it. Or you're maybe starting a business and joint finances is again being depleted here if it is negative. But again, this is the moon, it's internal feelings, and the moon changes sign. So this is a fleeting aspect. All right, and then we have on yeah, then we have the moon in Sagittarius sextile Pluto. Oh, I already mentioned that. I'm sorry, I meant the 25th, Venus in Pisces trines Mars in Cancer. So again, something about a lover, romance, or children um, is giving really good vibes in regards to a family matter, a home, your mother maybe informing you, um, and something about long distance or travel. Maybe you live far away and you're getting this news and you're excited and you fly out to them or something. But yeah, so look for that shift this week, and I am so sorry for a ridiculously long weekly scope, but it's an important week. Scorpio, we do this is the turning point. This is the halfway point. So watch for those degrees. And yeah, hopefully I'll keep up these weekly scopes, and hopefully I'll make them condensed versions. Hi Sagittarius, hope you guys are doing good. So this is my first attempt at doing weekly scopes, and I'm pre-warning you right now. It is not going to be a 5 minute, 10 minute condensed thing. I just don't do that. I like giving real life examples that you can bite on. Um, I mean, I'm not the best there is in this world. There's really good astrologers out there, but what I see mostly is, they give you the aspect and then they give you this really vague meaning of it, and then they go into counseling and psychology and stuff like that. And I think especially for newbies and novices, it doesn't resonate. So that's why I go a little bit more detailed, try to personalize it for each sign so it can make sense to you. Um, uh, in any case, I'm just warning you because all the other signs, yeah, I'm spending a long time on it. And because this week's aspect is really, really important, we have some heavy duty, intense aspects and um, dynamic, dynamic oppositions and shifts. Okay, so I've titled the theme for this week as a turning point, a turnaround. There's a huge shift here. Um, and then we have a new focus that's really taking up a lot of our time as well, and it's regarding the future, one of the future aspects. So, this shift, this turning point, has been triggered by last week's events. Last week, there was a surprising revelation, um, maybe through arguments, debates. maybe an outburst that we were not privy to before, or that we ignored or missed. And this is in regards to all the hullabaloo that happened um, back in October and November. Mars in Cancer, which is your 11th house of groups, friends, and associations, or a friend. And then we had this super full moon in Aries. Sorry. And that was quite a powerful full moon in Aries. And that is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, pets, and gambling. And then, you know, I don't have to tell you about Pluto and Capricorn. That was horrendous. And Capricorn does rule your second house of job, income, and your value system. How you value yourself is what it is. And then also Leo was triggered, and Leo is your ninth house of foreign people, um, higher education, and philosophy. Cancer also rules the family, parents, your living situation, and mostly the mother or a matriarchal figure. Leo also rules um, children. He's a father figure and things like that. So there was a fallout, a dust storm that happened um, back in October, November, and it was about these areas of your life. And there were some very tense aspects of huge arguments. There was endings and beginnings here, and relationships severed, separated, um, hurt, all that good stuff. Ultimatums, and, and and a lot of things about values. And it's an ongoing story, Sagittarius, because, um, well, first because Mars is doing his rare retrograde and will not finish with these two signs until April, May. Well, April mostly, I think. And and these relationships are important. They are fundamental. They're not something like okay, well, I can do without. No, you can't. We can't. And that's why we keep going back to that same old story, to have a resolution, to have a compromise, and blah blah blah. In any case, I don't know if I mentioned this, so at the risk of sounding repetitive, you can skip it. But that we had that outburst last week, and there was a piece of information that we didn't have or ignored, and that's what planets do when they go retrograde. They bring us back information that we had missed, and it was a surprise, maybe, but that led to a breakthrough. That led to a compassionate understanding, which then healed something here. And with the full moon in Cancer, it was putting one aspect of a hurt to the side, burying it, completing it. So that was the prelude to this week's aspects. We have some really serious aspects this week. Um, more arguments, more tense stuff that's building up that will be in regards to that same thing, which will cause us to do a turnaround, a shift. It'll be like, and it's Scorpio midweek. That's really igniting this is because um, we'll be like, okay, we have to stop beating this dead horse. Something has to change. And like I said, because we have this huge shift of focus um, on a new future endeavor. Excuse me. So that is what I wanted to give you the background on, so you'll understand when I discuss the aspects. Uh, First, I wanted to give you one aspect that I guess nobody's talking about. Um, Scorpio is your 12th house of behind the scenes, of secrets of your psyche, of the past, of confining spaces, um, and taking care of someone. Okay. Um, Juno is in Scorpio, and Juno is all about commitment, and Juno's serious about commitment, and Scorpio is a very serious sign. So Juno in Scorpio is quite serious about commitments. Um, but Juno is also very, very possessive and very jealous. She was Jupiter's wife, and he was a womanizer, so she was all entangled in that. But Juno was famous for taking revenge, taking it, revenge. So with commitment, jealousy, revenge, and especially in the very intense sign of Scorpio, revenge is taken to another level. I'm laughing with you, Sagittarius. And you actually don't do revenge. You're the kind that's like, um, let sleeping dogs lie, or it is what it is. You're a hopeful sign. You don't like getting into the deep dark world of things like that. Um, but you have different aspects in your natal chart, and it might be aspecting that, or the 12th house is also hidden enemies. So you might sense that there's something brewing with someone that you may consider an enemy. In any case, this commitment is either you wanting uh, to have someone commit to you so that you can have your set your mind at ease, let's say, or it could be someone else that's wanting a commitment from you and something regarding the past, or that your psyche uh, that is not that's making you hesitate for to do this commitment. And somehow, somewhere in the line, there's something about jealousy and possessiveness, and this can mean different things to different people. Okay, um, because there's many different scenarios that it can be. I'm just giving you one mundane example. So on the 17th, Juno in Scorpio opposed Uranus in Taurus at 23 degrees. And 23 degrees is the same degrees of Mars that in Cancer that transversed and caused all that heat in dust storm. And also, it was that degree of the super full moon in Aries, your fifth house of love and romance. So, and Taurus, oh, why did I just blank? Oh, yeah. Taurus is your sixth house of health habits, routines, taking care of someone, um, and pets, small pets here. And you've actually had surprising or twist of fates regarding your routine and your scheduling. Maybe your job has changed quite dramatically. So this opposition, this commitment, so it's a natural opposition though. So your psyche, your mind, something about the past, insecurity, possessiveness, jealousy, will naturally oppose your sixth house of health habits and routine. Because if your psyche is not comfortable and in a safe space, naturally, that will cause physical, God forbid, ailments or accidents. If your physical body is not in shape and you're burning the candle at both ends, um, you'll suffer that way. So these are deep, dark, intense feelings, like I said, and you don't do that. So this is weighing heavy on your mind, and you only know what this opposition is about because it is your 12th house of behind the scenes, and actually no astrologer can know what's going on in your 12th house, and it is your house of faith and religion. Uh, when Juno starts going retrograde in Scorpio, it will make the same opposition on May 4th to Uranus in Taurus, and it's coinciding with the ending of Uranus's tour in Taurus. And if these same feelings are not resolved by then, commitments will break apart with this aspect because it's a powerful aspect. Even though you'll be like, well, it's just an asteroid, but Scorpio's, yeah, well, in any case, Pluto was demoted to an asteroid from a planet and didn't do anything to curtail his power. So, yeah, just expect that because Uranus comes in with a bang and leaves with a bang, and it's the planet of shock and electricity. But that it also coincides with seeing stability regarding your health, your running around, your schedule, your routine. So whatever is severed here, it's for your own benefit. And again, if it's there's no issue by then, this will be just something to laugh about. It'll be something good. So I just wanted to mention that I think it's a very strong thing, but just nobody's interested in it. And so we start off the week. Well, it's the 19th. So the sun enters Aquarius, and our shift, our focus will shift to this new energy, this new phase, new journey of in our life, and that is for you regarding your communication, your neighbors, your neighborhood, um, siblings, cousins, extended family, social media, cars, um, vision, eyesight is over here, and a language different from our own. It's our the need to be heard house, and this will be a long journey for you too. So it's also about not only talking but listening, taking in communication and processing it, and critical thinking. Okay, so that's where your focus and thing will be, and it will come through because Aquarius rules groups, friends, circles. So it'll come. This empowerment will come through some type of groups or circles, and you actually have started something here in earnest. You're quite busy here. All right. Then we also have Venus in Pisces, your home, house, family, parents, and your living situation, making a semi square to Pluto and Aquarius. So something about your space, your home, your family, um, even though it has been recently been romanticized or it's been beautified, um, um, it's not conducive to this empowerment, this learning thing that you'll be having regarding communication, commuting. So there's something that's off there. Then Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Saturn and Pisces. So whatever angst you have here, you do receive news, information regarding income or a job or your value system that is actually um, encouraging you regarding um, setting up some kind of boundaries or keeping boundaries in place in regards to your home and family, because Saturn is approving of that. Now, here's where all the hula hoop starts is on inauguration day, Monday. So we have the moon in Libra square Mercury in Capricorn. We have the moon in Libra square Mars in Cancer, and then we have the moon in Libra opposed Chiron in Aries. All right. So Libra for you is your 11th house of groups, friends, a friend associations, and what have you. Um, and that is squaring up to some kind of communication or news that you're receiving about your job, income, or your value system. It's not sitting well with you. And then with the moon in Libra squaring Mars in Cancer, um, did I say? Uh, I'm sorry. Libra is Libra is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, and authority figures. I apologize, Sagittarius. I'm sorry. Our power went out um, because it's freezing in Chicago, and I bought an extra heater that sucks up a lot of electricity, and I lost everything because I'm using this video editor online, so I'm re-recording this. It messed up all my stuff. So I'm just going back and forth between two programs on my computer. In any case, no excuses. Okay, no excuses. So Libra is your 10th house of career, status, reputation, figures. So um, it is taking a hit from a conversation, a heated debate um, regarding your value, how you value yourself. Remember, it's not how others value you, it's how you value yourself. And regarding a job or income, some of you are between jobs or have part time jobs or are not working. Um, or you're at a place you're working where you feel confined. That might be the case, but that's going to change very soon. But maybe that's where the tension is. And then when it goes on to square Mars in Cancer, so again, something about your career, your status, your reputation is taking a hurt in regards to friends, groups, um, or a friend. It's getting a tense aspect. Then the moon in Libra will oppose Chiron in Aries. Jesus. So then again, the same thing about your career reputation is triggering a wound, a hurt regarding love, romance, children, and creativity. Um, and that's got to, ouch. I'm sorry about that. Uh, but see, how does that saying go? Order out of chaos. Or it has to get worse before it gets better because it has to flush out all the bad. So this is what I meant about these tense aspects, and that breakthrough last year will shift us to this turning point. So this is all building up, and we are already feeling this energy of something coming to an end, something coming to a close. Okay, and like I said, in my I think October scope, this is not the end of the story. There's some type of a resurrection in spring. Um, this is just clearing out all the negative and the past and all that. Also on Monday, Cupido will station direct in Gemini. So a passion is ignited regarding a partnership. And you've had Jupiter in Gemini since last summer. So something about your partnerships. And Gemini is the sign of twins. So you have these multiple partners that are uplifting you, supporting you, they're benefactors. Um, and there was or still is one unique opportunity that you really like, um, but it stalled for some reason. It became like a back burner thing, um, and that was because Jupiter is retrograde, so it was in the revision mode. Um, but here on Monday, this Cupido is a prelude to Jupiter in Gemini turning direct. So passion about partnerships ignited. Tuesday on the 21st. Yeah, more heated arguments. So Mercury in Capricorn will square Chiron in Aries. Before it was your feelings, because it's the moon in Libra, your feelings about your career and reputation triggered an old wound. Here, there's going to be some type of a wake up call. Someone has some stern conversation with you regarding your job, your income, or your self worth. And this time, it you know, it triggers that wound even more deeply, that past hurt. Um, and this might not be like a bad conversation. It might be just like trying to maybe uplift you or something like that. But you might be taking it the wrong way, and it's triggering that hurt. See, with Capricorn, since it is your second house of how you value yourself, you may be projecting that to onto another. Because remember, partners are mirrors. If you feel that someone is being kind and caring to you, it's because you care about yourself. You're being kind to yourself. If someone is disrespecting you, it means that you are disrespecting yourself. And the universe's gift is giving us a mirror to look inside of ourselves, which is a partner. I'm sure you'll understand that. So now we'll go on to the Sun in Aquarius conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius. So, Sagittarius, pay attention here because this is showing you raw, unadulterated power and control that you can harness through communication, through the way you think, um, through the way you critically listen. Um, it's a powerful aspect. It's the Sun and it's Pluto. And Aquarius is an air sign. It's very uplifting. And you, Sagittarius, are a fire sign. So this is beautiful. It ignites your fire. You know, you need air. You need oxygen to have your fire ignited. So something here is ignited. And it is, in your case, it's a very good aspect. Um, I don't see anything negative in here. So, whatever you've been working on diligently regarding communication, maybe social media, maybe neighborhood or through with siblings or cousins or a close circle, um, it is showing you power where power is. So it's nice. Pay attention to this because this gives you the flavor of this 20-year journey that Pluto will take us in Aquarius. And then the moon in Scorpio will square Pluto in Aquarius. Scorpio again is your house of the past, secrets in your psyche, and yeah, Pluto in Aquarius is trying to lift you up and empower you, and it's saying that you confining yourself in your headspace and just you know shutting yourself down and out is not going to help you. You need to get out of your headspace. Uh, yeah. All right. Um, then Moon in Scorpio will square the Sun in Aquarius. It's the same thing. Um, it's being illuminated for you. And this, the Moon aspect, they are powerful, but it's the Moon. So the Moon is your emotions. They're internal, really, but the Sun is shining a light on them, so it will help you see. Also, Saturn in Pisces will semi-square Pluto in Aquarius. Well, Saturn has been restricting something regarding home, family, and your living situation. It has been doing that for a lot of different reasons. I'm not going to get into it here, but it is to build you a solid foundation for your safe space. Um, and Pluto here urging you to go out and about and communicate. Um, uh, Saturn is not too happy with that. He's saying, well, wait, baby steps. But that baby step, that restriction is going to lift very soon. Um, you will have a very good foundation by the end of Saturn's exit of Pisces, which will be in March, April, something like that. So just around the corner, Sagittarius, just around the corner. And you can see a grand, well, you can't see, I can see the chart, a grand square in the cardinal signs. And the cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. So these signs will definitely feel this more than others, very intensely. But how it relates to you is with this grand square, is you will feel it in each one of these areas of your life intensely. Again, Cancer is your 11th house of friends and groups. Capricorn is your second house of income and your value system. Libra is your 10th house of reputation, status, and career. And Aries is your fifth house of love, romance, and children and creativity. Um, and we get a respite on Wednesday. Venus in Pisces, semi-sextiles, Chiron in Aries. So Venus comes to our rescue. You do find solace and peace in your living space, and it has started that in January. When Venus entered Pisces, you do find this respite, this feeling of coziness and comfort. So while this old wound was triggered regarding your romance, regarding a lover, children, maybe from the past, um, being in the safe space just helps you heal. It's a very nice cathartic healing um, here on Wednesday. All right. And then on the 23rd, and I think this is where the shift happens, where we're like, okay, we have to drop this. We're hurting ourselves and we're hurting too many people. This has to end. There's a turnaround here. So um, Mars in Cancer will sextile Uranus and Taurus, which is a great aspect. Um, it's again your friend or friendship or group giving you again more information that you might have missed. And Taurus is your sixth house of health, habits, and routines. So there's another surprising aspect that comes out here, but it's a nice surprise. Um, Maybe during your just daily routine, something is triggered. Um, then Mercury in Capricorn opposes Mars in Cancer. So whatever this friend or friendship is giving you good juju vibes regarding your health and habits. Um, Again, the party pooper, Capricorn. Um, no, I love you guys. I love Capricorns. They're very, very compassionate. They just have a lot on their shoulders. So there's a practical conversation again. Um, Maybe a reserved conversation that may sound cold regarding your job, your income, or your value system. That is telling your Mars and Cancer, yeah, don't do that, um, because it's opposing a friend or friends that may be talking something else to you. Mercury in Capricorn will trine Uranus and Taurus. Well, geez, and I keep doing this for every sign, and I keep forgetting. I get surprised. It's like, come on, Capricorn, make up your mind. First you oppose, then you trine. Well, yeah, Capricorn. So Uranus and Taurus was right to anyway. Then what happens is maybe there comes in with this discussion, with this exchange, then that conversation regarding your value system is 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 giving a really good trine to Uranus and Taurus. And I believe this is really, for most of you, it is about your health. Um, because see, if you're not in a good headspace, it will result in physical pain or accident or ailment, and God forbid for any of that. If you're not healthy physically, um, that can also manifest in not having like a peaceful psyche. So And these degrees, I wanted to tell you, all these three aspects are 23 degrees. It's the same aspect of what happened back in October, November. So this is, I think, that's why I said I think this is the point where we shift after that yesterday's Wednesday's respite, and with this opposition, but these two sextiles and trines, this is where we're like, okay, enough is enough. We make a shift. We lay things to rest. Because then the moon enters your sign, yay, and we are saved by your optimism, by your hopefulness. Even though Sagittarius, you may feel like, geez, I have no more hope, or optimistic or whatever. Just hang tight. The universe, in its wisdom, is doing all this, even though it might seem bad energy or what have you. It is to clear out the dead wood, um, the things that trip you up. Um, the things that are negative in your life, because then you explode. Aquarius is powerful. We're moving into air signs. Like I said, that ignites your fire. Um, and after that, then on Saturday, then the moon in your sign will sextile Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. That is huge. It's very powerful. Um, Feeling better, more optimistic, more hopeful. Um, just absolutely your communication reflects that. It's your communication and your thinking. It opens up your mind to take in communication much nicer, and your communication becomes much more uplifting. With the moon in your sign opposing Jupiter and Gemini, this can be a great. Some oppositions are bad, some are good. I believe this will be a very good opposition. And remember, it's the moon. The moon is your feelings. There, it's internal. So you might just feel this opposition to a partner, some an expansion of a partnership within your own heart. You might be like, maybe you don't want problems to expand. Any case, it's a fleeting, very fleeting energy. It's the moon changes signs in 2 days, so this will be just an internal feeling that'll be fleeting. Okay, Aquarius or Sagittarius. Sorry, I'm so sorry for this ridiculously long weekly scope, but I'm sorry. That's it's my first time, and plus I just that's my style. I need to really personalize it for each person. So hopefully I'll continue them, or if I'm not successful here, I'll just stick to monthly and mid month. All right, Sagittarius, take care of yourselves.